Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Meghalaya College Teachers Association kalau ong bagi Samla Pule ke Shah Blackmail Lyngba ke National Education Policy ke Tyrwa Shaki. Habakran berkilat pathai kuhubor ke Presiden ke Mcta ke Dr. BH Buam. Kalau ong bahagini ke Shibnai kila supet jar-jar ya ki jing Shah halor kumno ban pensngau ya ka bat kumno la ya lambakla. Kalau ong rubah kum ke seng kala Shah pet khamat hendai kala sngap bet jar halor ke jinglong jingman habapai Shah ke benta bay de bak NEP arajar arpau. Habakudau bawat hapadeng ki babun ki jingkan thoa ka seng kam shim la Shah jam. Kalau ong rubah kum ki nahikai ki don ka nong rem baki habban ai ke jing Shakri kum ki nong trei ya kari Shak em lang ka sa lang bat ka rihi berok away. Haba pensngo baka seng ka kwa ban weng ye ki jing kuslai jing mot jong ki kimi ki kpa ki Samla Pule pat upa ba babun balang ka Presiden ka laong baka jing pentrai kami ka NEP arajar arpau la le klem da perkhat bat ka jing bam shai. Ka Dr. Buam ka laong ba ki par Shah jur ya ka rai ban pentrai kam klem ka jing menjur lang jo ki wei da ka skol ba bat Vice Chancellor. Hanai ka jing par Shah ka long namar ka jing karki ka jing bam khen snap bat ka jing penan kam bakla ya ka bor da VC. Kalau ong rubah ke jing dawa jong ke seng kalau yo jing kershan na ka nihuta hapo ke jing elam u Presiden Profesor Lakhon Kama kabala shim ya karai bade ban weng no shisandan ya kashiti kabala phado Officer on Special Duty u Devashish Chaudhary shagi Principal jong ki college ki bapnya so ba school ba banya shakhaman barga jing pentre kam ya ka NEP Lyngba ka 4-year undergraduate program na do ka jing sedang jo ka samoy puli arajar arpulai hado arpusaw hakawai kalyang ka seng labu jing keliru balada u menteri rangba ka jela u kandut ke sangma ula banjur ba ka jing pensngau jo ka MCTA kilong ki basyongnya balai pat ka shimpor ban sedang ya ka kam man penkre igino hikai na ka benta ka NEP.
Well, the entire state government was unaware about the NEP. In fact, the state government was made aware about the NEP 2020 in colleges only when the MCPC and the MCTA delegation went to meet the government to apprise of this matter. And this had happened in May. And I continue on from that. May 25th, your press reports. Why we give so much importance to the press is because the press is the fourth pillar of democracy. We look forward to you to carry the news to our students because we are very concerned about them. 25th May, and I wish some of you go through this video which was uploaded by Mcta and Monitor. 25th May, you will clearly hear the principals speaking out saying, no, we are not ready. And this was a tripartite meeting held at the convention hall, in which our Honorable Education Minister was there, the VC was there. They had voiced out their opinions. June 1st, the Education Minister had stated, and he made a press statement, and this was in Mcta Times. The head of the institutions of the state have petitioned that they are not ready this academic session. So I had a personal one-to-one meeting with the head of the prominent institutions in the state. They are of the view that this session they are not ready to implement National Education Policy 2020. So we are communicating to all the heads of the institutions to write in black and white. Then, as a state government, we will communicate based on the report to the university. Press statement, Mcta Times. June 15th, again. This was when the Mcta government woke up. They constituted the MSEC. And if you look at what is written there, it is written, the Commission will advise the government on matters related to schools and college system, make strategic interventions and formulate policy decisions to bring about reforms in the school and higher education system. These reforms will align with the perspective of NEP 2020 and fulfill its principles and articulation. July 5th, this was when it was set up. July 15th, sorry. Then, July 20th, the VC holds a press conference in which media people attended, and this was carried by Mcta Times again. And I state, and I quote what he said because this was quoted in the press. Professor Shukla said that as per the new policy, the Academic Council and the Executive Council of NEHU have duly endorsed the implementation of the NEP 2020 And with the implementation of the policy, the university will start a 4-year undergraduate program. And he said, the academic council and the executive council. Mind you, this is what he said in front of the press. July 22nd, the Mcta had a press conference here at Press Club, where we were not happy because we were not happy with the statement of the VC, because he had said the academic council had endorsed the implementation. We at that point of time, when we came to the press on July 22nd, we said no, the academic council had not discussed on implementation of NEP. No date, no session from when it was not decided. And these are there in the minutes of the academic council. How could he make such a wrong statement? Because the academic council is the highest body in the university. Then we have July 26, another press briefing. And this was done by Professor Ghanshyam Bays of NEHU, Chemistry Department, who was always with the VC. He admitted that the academic council had not mentioned the year of implementation of NEP 2020, asserted that the executive council of the university has to implement the policy and not the academic council. He comes up finally with the truth that no, it's not the academic council, the highest body. It seems like the executive council has overridden the academic council. July 26, again another press briefing, in which our Honorable Education Minister stated to the press that the state government has written to the NEHU Vice Chancellor 3 times, May 17, June 27, and June 25th, that the higher educational institutions, that is the colleges, are not ready to implement it this year. July 27th, Doordarshan News informs that 33 colleges are not ready to implement NEP. 33 colleges in the state. 33, mind you. These are statements made to the press. July 29th, there was a press release by the government of Meghalaya. It's there in the public domain. This is the press release. And I would like to read. The Education Department, Government of Meghalaya, had a joint meeting with NEHU principals. This was 25th May. This is reported in the press release given by the government. The same will not be able to implement in the academic session 2023-24 as sensitization of teachers and students, preparation of prospectus in line with NP 2020, and adoption of new curriculum framework for undergraduate programs have not been met by the colleges. Hereby, the state government requests consider of a 1-year extension for implementation. 1-year extension. We are not against NEP, mind you. We are the people who have to teach your children. We are asking, give time. Time for what? Time to sensitize the teachers so that they are equipped. Time also for us to prepare. Time also for training, because there are many new courses in this NEP, like MDCs and SECs. We are all teachers appointed in a specific discipline. Now, I don't know where in the government of Meghalaya has personality development teachers or public speaking teachers. These are the courses in the MDC. We don't have. And to be very honest with you, I don't think I have the confidence also to go and just talk like an expert and go and teach the students. We need a proper training for this. In order, this press conference reads again, the press release, in order to successfully implement the recommendation of NEP, the Education Department through the Directorate of Higher and Technical Education proposed to host numerous workshops for HEIs in the state on the themes and actions points as pointed by the Ministry of Education in order to provide appropriate capacity building for the implementation of NEP 2020. Where are those training? Where are those capacity building programs? Not one has been held till date. Not one has been held till date. Sorry to say that. Please, member of the press. Another news item carried by Hub Network, July 31st. Questions on preparedness. This was a news item where they had colleges, renowned colleges, as well as, small private colleges also. Where private colleges have expressed that they really are not in a position to undertake this course. Then we announced the NCM on the 1st of August. It was carried by the press, and it's correct also because I know we had announced it on the 1st. August 3rd, CM states NEP has to be implemented. He makes a statement. August 23rd, and this is a press statement, this is Shillong Times. And our Honourable Minister says, concerns of MCTA are genuine. And he makes a statement here. Chief Minister Conrad Samla said it is imperative that the genuine concerns and state issues raised by the MCTA on the implementation of NEP be addressed. And he also made, and I'm just reading a few paragraphs, they are only asking where's the money and classrooms to implement NEP. Sorry, Mr. Chief Minister, your government press release states that not we're asking for money. We are asking for those capacity building programs which you have promised us in this press release of the government. They have genuine concerns and issues which need to be resolved. 26 August, Mcta, the Nehu Teachers Association, they also were against this statement made by the VC. Now my question, and I would like to address the students, the parents, and the press. Is MCTA only wrong? If you say yes, then are the Nehu Teachers Association also wrong? Don't we know that in order to prepare something or implement anything, we need to be prepared? For a simple birthday party, if I have a birthday party in my house, I will prepare for it. How can this be preparation? I don't know what happened between these dates. I really don't know. I fail to rationalize also. From July 31st, what magic wand did they have and did they wave, as in the fairy tales, that we become prepared by 1st of August? This is the students' careers that are at stake. We are not against NEP, we are against this hurried implementation. We are all for NEP, but anything done without proper implementation, without proper preparation, might lead to a disaster. Then who will be held accountable? That is my question.
Thank you. And 4 days. And this happened when we met you, the fraternity of the press, on 21st of July, 2023. It's 1 month. What has developed in this 1 month? Over this last 1 month, we have quietly observed how much, the facts of the matter, how it is being represented and how it is being misrepresented. And so we find that through this period of time, we as an association, we have been targeted. We have been targeted that it is unjustified. But then we kept quiet. Quiet observation, quiet reflection over the matter. We have been sullied and we have been portrayed as a group of teachers who are villains in this society. They look at us, they tarnish our image. But are we moved? No. We are unmoved. Had we moved in the very first week itself, when we made a declaration and announcement, we would all have succumbed and bowed down to the pressure. But here we stand united as members of the association. We are being looked as and labeled as a group of people who are uncaring and unprofessional. We are violating the professional code of conduct, the code of ethics. But then again, let me drive home the point. We are standing firm on our professional ethics. We have a moral standing that we have to deliver as nation builders. What do we want for the society in future? What do we want for the nation at large in future? Teachers are nation builders. We all are familiar and have heard this often repeated phrase. So now the question comes, when we have been tarnished, we are not here to defend. We are not here to defend, to say that no, take away, this kind of accusation, the kind of, labeling that you have for us. We are here to show our resoluteness that we have a moral standing. This book, the document, the National Policy of Education by the Ministry of Education, if you read it in 4.28, it says that students will be taught at a young age the importance of doing what is right. Are we not doing what is right? When we stand on the truth, are we wrong? Did we err? As people, majority of the people think that we err. But then, this is a time we are here to set the narrative right. And that is to dispel the fears and apprehensions of the parents, of the students, and the public at large. Now, first, we ask this question: where was the injustice committed? It was unjust. It is unjustified. Where was injustice committed? Number two, did we err? I said and I reiterate, we did not err. And if the matter has to continue, we are daring to go, because the implementation of NEP, it was based on unsound, illogical, irrational foundation. And what do we expect from that basis, from that foundation? This we want to make it clear. The university has not invited us, but then over a period of time, we've seen voices that indicates that yes, the Meghalaya College Teachers Association, it stands for the truth, for the right, and for what is right. As a teacher myself, as a teacher, as a community of teachers who are all over spreading, this is what I have to say. We have our integrity, we have our justice. So we observe and uphold integrity and justice. So it is on that principles, on these principles, that we strongly oppose the unilateral decision, overreach of the university and the Vice Chancellor. After the press conference, what happened? There were kind of statements being made that they do not recognize a community of teachers. That the academic council is not needed. It is the executive council which matters. I do not know. If we read it in between the lines, how do we read the statement and the situation? I have two things here to say. First, it is ignorance of the Honorable VC about the statutes, about the rules, about the regulations, about the ordinance. And we are talking about the rule of law. So where is the rule of law here? And number two, it could be the pride, the arrogance, or an agenda that is hidden that we do not know. But if you take a reading, closely look at it, these are the two things that surfaced. But then, let me tell you, all of us as an association, we agree. We stated, and I remember Professor Shiv saying, if we have wronged, if we are wrong in our demand, tell us, we are ready to apologize. But one thing is very clear, and I would like the esteemed members of the press to carry it through, that MCTA is not against NEP 2020. I repeat, MCTA is not against NEP 2020. Rather, the strong opposition, it is because of the hurriedness, of the high-handedness, of the overreach, of the abuse of power and authority by the Vice Chancellor. And I will not go into detail about what is on that. This sets this panel an open discussion for the day. And good afternoon to one and all. Under the presidency of Professor Lakon Kama, they are right-thinking, informed intellectuals. 102 members, they were having a unanimous decision that this notification must be withdrawn. MCTA is responsible for this? Think again. MCTA is unjustified? Think again. If the Honorable Chief Minister remarked, stressed that the concerns of MCTA, they are genuine, then why is it taking so long to start the process of preparing the teachers? And I say here, I remember of one saying which says, nothing is more fatal than lack of preparation. We go to the class, we fail to prepare. What happened in the classroom? Commotion, chaos sets in. And here we have a long-term goal, a goal to shape the future of the nation. It is being shaped in the classrooms. Dear students, think about it. Ask those who know about NEP. Because the NEP that is being offered to you, my dear students, you are being blackmailed. I would like to hesitate. I hesitate to use that word, but I have to. Because as Madam Amanda said, what magic wand? Who handed that magic wand? That within a matter of a fortnight or 2 days or 3 days, that from impossible, it is turning into possible. Children, students, we are thinking for you. It is you who should apply the pressure. Parents, what we are talking about NEP is only a nomenclature change from an old course to a new course. And as she said, SEC, AEC, and in the semesters to come, VECs and many other components, MDCs. Are you are you being informed about all this? Yes, but what are the implications of undergoing through these courses? What are the benefits of it? And what are the requirements to make it effective? Parents and students and the general public, we are standing on a platform where we are fighting for what is just and for a bright future of our students. We do not know what the future holds for them in this situation where NEP is only a very small package at the moment. What has been taught in the schools, in the colleges today? How much of SEC is happening? How much of skill development is happening? Is it not time when you roll out NEP that these should also go simultaneously? It is not only, the lecture method that demands here that comes into play. It entails development of skills and capacities. If NEP talks about link with vocationalization and employability, and employment or the employability skills, let us look at that. And I say what I said, nothing is more fatal than lack of preparation. The colleges are not prepared. The state government, they are not prepared. And still, they say we are ready, except for the 33 colleges. The single stream, what is happening to them? Where is NEP? NEP talks about at least 2 streams. Why do we ignore these technicalities? This is a point to be noted. And audience, who are not here and who are listening, these are certain issues that we need to address. So I hand over to Professor Shiv Pradhan to take us through the line. And how do we expect the edifice, the structure of education, and also of the society to be built on that line. And this book, I'm taking this because this is becoming, a kind of a guideline. You just download it, you will get it from the Ministry of Education. That implementation will be guided by the following principles. And principle number 1, implementation of the spirit and intent of the policy will be the most critical matter. We are questioning that. What is the intent of that hurriedness? And as sir, we need to emphasize and reiterate on why we have come before you and why we need to tell the general public. It is because of a serious offense that has been committed in that temple, the temple where they decide about the future of our children. The college, the undergraduate and the postgraduate. There it went wrong. So I keep asking this question, are we unjustified? And on that note, Dr. David, please take us through, and also the general public.
Now, I'm going to present some hard and maybe some shocking facts with regards to the readiness, the inadequacy, and the impediments with regards to the implementation of NEP in 2023 in all the NEHU-affiliated colleges and institutions in Meghalaya. As you know, under the NEP 2020, now the 3-year undergraduate program will be a 4-year undergraduate program. So from 6 semesters, it's going to be 8 semesters. Now, so far, we only have the syllabus for the first 2 semesters. What about the succeeding semesters? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the syllabus? I mean, when anything has to be implemented, I think it has to be implemented. When we introduce a curriculum, it has to be comprehensive. the implementation has to be in total, which under Nehru, only the semester for the first, for syllabus for the first and second semester is ready. And in my, with me here, I have a few pages, the introductory pages of this 4-year undergraduate program under NEP 2020, the first and second semester. Date of approval at Academic Council, dated 02/06/2023. Here they mentioned the syllabus, the structure of the syllabus of the different programs that offered under NEHU. And conveniently, they have left out 2 departments from this list. So the syllabus for the Department of Business Administration is not there in this list, as well as the syllabus for the Department of Music. And by some sleight of hand, I've recently came to know that the syllabus of Business Administration is ready. I mean, without the approval of the Academic Council. So there, one question. And till this afternoon, I had again called up the head of the Department of Music to confirm with him, to ask him if the syllabus of Music Department is ready. He says, not yet, sir. So till date, we don't have the syllabus of music. And how can we go ahead with implementing this NEP when the syllabus of one department is not ready? So what do we teach in that department? Are we going to ignore and leave that department behind? That is one. So there's no syllabus up to now for music department. Second point is that when our students, our children took admission this year, sometime during the month of May and June, they read the prospectus, and in that prospectus of the different respective colleges and institutions in Meghalaya, the old curriculum was mentioned. So these students had taken admission on the basis of that old curriculum. And let me remind you that prospectus that institutions offer to the students and to the public, I mean, that's a legal document. That is second point. The third point is a very important point, which talks about the readiness of institutions in Meghalaya. Now, we do not know what sort of papers are going to be introduced in the succeeding semesters, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We have no idea. Some of us are members of the Board of Studies. Some of us are members of the Academic Council. We have no ideas what those papers are. So our students, our children are left in the dark. They're taking admission. They're entering into something with uncertainty. All right? And now who's going to service these new courses? You have these, ability enhancement courses, you have these MDCs, and so on and so forth. Now, where is the human resource and manpower that is going to service these different courses, these different papers? We don't know, we don't have. And this is where I also want to inform you all that it is clearly written in the NEP 2020, the 66-page document. If you go to section 14.4.1, it talks about access and inclusion of the SEDGs in higher educational institutions. Now, what are these SEDGs? The socio-economically disadvantaged groups. And in that section 14.4.1, it has spelled out clearly the role of the government. And there are some 8 steps. I'm not going to mention them here. And if you read those steps under 14.4.1, the government, our government, the government of Meghalaya, has not done anything about it. And let me also mention that a well-renowned college in Shillong that has, an enrollment of over 5,000 students. Now the management last December had sat along with the IQAC, the Internal Quality Assurance Cell. They sat together and they had worked out what would be, the unit cost of education if NEP 2020 were to be implemented in Meghalaya. And this is what we got. 4,210 rupees. Now that's the minimum amount that every student will have to pay extra every year. An additional 4,210 rupees and more. And now we are talking about a big college that has an enrollment of over 5,000 students. An additional of 4,210. Now, majority of our students here will not be able to afford it. Now, who will come to their rescue? And like I've mentioned, the government has done nothing about it. They have not created any posts. I think the last 3 decades there has been a moratorium in the recruitment of professors, assistant professors in colleges in Meghalaya. It's time, if the government of Meghalaya is serious about education, I think they need to, they need to wake up, step up, and bring about intervention. So that's it for myself.
That students who do not opt for NEP, they will not get admission to the universities, or they will be greatly disadvantaged when it comes to the careers. Now, we look at the facts of the matter. Even in implementing NEP, there are states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, West Bengal who have rejected it outrightly. Next year. And even Karnataka also is going to roll back on NEP. And the problem that one of the professors who was pro-NEP said that it was hasty implementation. And then when we also look at the universities, as per UGC website, there are 56 central universities. Out of these 56 central universities, only 19 have agreed to go ahead with NEP. So if it is, if it is the need of the hour, why is it then that only 19 universities have agreed? What about the 56? And you see the fear that has been, that has been mongered in the public is that even if you don't opt for NEP, it will be difficult for you to get into admission to the university. Now again, in the state we have one central university, which can accommodate per department maybe about 50 seats only. Now, even if you go through the old system, which is a 3-year course, after the 3 years, you still get the chance to go into the university through co-ed, and you will still have to sit for 2 years PG. The NEP also has a very similar sort of structure where you can also complete 3 years, not the 4 years, but after the 3 years, you can also enter the university for 2 more years PG. It has the same system. But in the NEP, there will also be an issue of those who complete the 4 years through NEP, where they will have to go into lateral entry into the final year of PG. Whether the university can actually, they can keep those seats for those lateral entries, or whether only 1 or 2 students will be taken in. Now, these are also concerns that have not been addressed yet. So if the fear has been propagated that not having the NEP will ensure that there will be problems that will crop up in the academic careers of the students, I would like to disperse those fears by saying that nothing of that sort will happen. Okay.
You give ultimatum or what is the next course of action if the authority concerned does not lead to your demand?
I think the president will be able to reply.
All right, on that question, we will have to meet as a body, and we will not be able to disclose what would that be. We will have a collective decision which will be after a threadbare discussion. So that is the reply to the question. And once we decide, because we keep meeting from time to time, looking at the situation, so the same will also be happening.
I just want to add. We have demanded the university, the Vice Chancellor, to withdraw that notification with immediate effect. We have served the representation on the 21st of July, and because he has remaining silent, therefore we started the NCM as a response to that. from the 1st of August, and it is going on.
So the non-cooperation movement by the MCTA is still continuing till today?
Yes, it is still on. We are boycotting all the first semester classes. I mean, we are not taking any classes under the NAP.
Yes.
Number two, we are also not undertaking any assignment like question setting or question papers, moderation, and so on and so forth related to the first semester courses under NAP. However, we continue with our duties related to the 3rd and the 5th semester, which is under the course syllabus, and this is going on.
So, but what do you have to say on the silence maintained by the state government? We know that there is a stalemate between the MCTA and the neighbour authority.
We'd like to question the state government, and we'd like to question Nehu also. Why this silence? You know, very strange. I have with me here. This is an advertisement of Tyrwa Government College. They don't have teachers, and they have advertised teachers for both day and shift, morning shift. And the subjects are motivation, personality development, public speaking, introductory life science, and it's written here. Preference will be given to candidates having more experience and diploma degree in the related field. And then they also say here, it will be under shift and they will be paid on an hourly basis.
Can I answer?
Mind you, these are courses under NP, and you will have hourly basis teachers coming even in a government college. Now what about the deficit? What about the private colleges then? What do they do? What do they do? Why is the government silent? That is the question we would like to know. If the CM has stated that the concerns of MCT are genuine, then why is he silent? If the VC is concerned about the students passing out from his university, why is he silent?